All right, everybody, how's it going? Hey, we just finished up the very first week of SCUL Season 2, and it was awesome. It was so awesome. I had a lot of concerns about the format as it related to. Let me turn off the StarCraft music for a second. As it related to 20 players being required by each team facing off against two other teams at once. We did it. It happened. All the slots were filled, and then the end results were insane, right? I won't spoil it too much. I mean, this is already pretty much spoiled anyway. I was looking at it after I threw it on there, but every single team ended up winning one of their matchups and losing another one. So every single team at the end of week one is 1-1 in their record. And then not only that, when it came to map wins, which is what's being used for seeding, for future week player lineups, and for the finals bracket after week 6, right now we're at 25, 26, 27, 28. Like every single map win counted so much. And so I could not be happier with how the first week went. And with that, I mean, it just ended. We just had our last match. I want to go in and cast some of these games, right? I want to dive in. And so what we're going to look at is we're going to look at some of the matches from each matchup. I picked one of the bonus matches, right? So the first 3 matches in each matchup have a +1 modifier, meaning if you win that series, you'll get an additional map win allocated to your score in the team score. And so we're going to start off with Chaos versus Unhinged. This is one of the 4 matchups that we had this week. And we're going to start off with Nesh versus Remap. This is going to be a TVT. And this one was requested early. So I think G5, I think he requested that this matchup be casted. And so we're going to jump on into it. Now, for the first map on each of these is going to be Neosylphid. So Neosylphid was the first map going into all of these. And fun fact, I'm looking at their replay files right now. I don't know who's who. They aren't playing under their names Nesh and Remap. So if you happen to know which one of them is Eagle 2 and which one's Knacker Impervious, please let me know so I can cast accordingly. Otherwise, we'll just call them by their in-game names, and we'll go off to the races on that. All right, so let's go ahead and load up game number 1. We're going to be on Neosylphid, and this is Nesh versus Remap. And this is going to be a little tricky because, like I said, I need to... Oh, man, we can't shift tab them. They'll both be red. I need to set up this scoreboard, but I don't know... I don't know who's actually who. So I guess over here, I'll just say Remap is player A. He'll be Terran. He's on Team Chaos. We've got Nesh, also Terran, playing for Team Unhinged. Neosylphid, SCUL Season 2, Week 1. Alright, badass everybody. We are off to the races now. So, okay, so Eagle's Nesh. That actually helps a ton. Thank you so much. So we got Eagle Nesh up here at the 12 o'clock on Neosylphid. We have Remap down here in the bottom left. In the yellow. So I'm trying to remember. I think Remap this might be his first season with SCUL. Nesh played last season, if I recall correctly, and performed very well. He's also been a little bit on just like an ascension arc. I think he's doing well in some of the other tournaments that he's participating in outside of SCUL. So we'll have to see how these two end up pairing up and fighting it off. All right, so Barrick's going down for both of them. Nothing crazy, no trickiness. One thing to note, every single match in Season 2 during the round robin is a best of 3. So if you're coming from Season 1, we don't have to worry about any best of 1s in this format. So gas going down for both players. And I wish I knew more about how each of these two played TVT. I'm expecting just kind of a standard game out of both of them. I don't know what their history is with facing off against each other. We'll have to see. Both these players being picked first from their teams. I don't remember. I probably should have looked before I started casting as to who was placed first and then who was the response. I guess if Nesh would have been placed first. So Nesh was placed by Unhinged in this matchup, and then Chaos responded by sending Remap up against Nesh. So Chaos must think and Remap must think that he's a good pairing for this and has an advantage over Nesh in this matchup. So we do have factories going down for both players. I don't think we're going to see any type of difference between their builds until after these initial factories are complete. See if they continue factory production going into a 2-fact play, or if they start going for these expansions. I imagine Remap is going to be factory expanding. He's already taken off gas, same with Nesh. So nothing crazy there. Very standard from both of them. Okay, so the SCV is going to get in here, and what he's going to want to look for is this. The SCV is being off gas. And there we go. Initial depot placement coming in handy there. Getting that SCV knocked out. And Nesh is going to take this opportunity to go set up his expansion. Remap already has his started. A little bit of optimization there. And Nesh's barracks is going to be, looks like quicker to get some eyes on what Remap is up to. All right, so initial vulture is out for both players. I want to see, okay, so it looks like we're going multiple vultures from both before add-on. Ooh, quick response time there from Nesh, but he does end up taking a couple shots early, trying to get this vulture up into these Marines. But Remap, very quick on the draw, pulls him back. And he pulls him behind this tree. Fun fact, if you park some units behind these little tree doodads, there's actually a mischance. It provides cover. All right, I want to get an understanding of where we're going here with the build. So it looks like we're going into 3-fact vulture for Nesh. Same here for Remap, but we do already have an add-on being started here for Remap. So wondering if he's going to use that to kind of transition into some tank play, or if he's just going to use that, start getting the mine upgrades, and then potentially try to get a contain established on Nesh. Generally the idea behind a 3-factory opening. Mevius, there's no way I'm going to cast all the matches. I need more casters. Staged, if you're still here. I need some help with coverage. So I'll just pick and choose. On the website, there should be an option, and if it's not there yet, it will be soon, for players to request games to be casted. And then they show up in like everyone with a caster modifier. Here, let me allow your message through the auto mod staged. There you go. Oh, that's love right there. Okay, well, if you do feel like casting, let me know. Be very welcome. All right, so we are getting a 4th factory up here at the natural for Nesh. How are we looking on vulture count? We have 4, 5 here for Nesh. We do have vulture superiority here from Remap. Going up to a 4th factory himself, a 5th one. So going straight up into 5 factories. We're not going to see any type of Wraith kind of play coming from either of these players right yet. This looks like a pure Vulture War scenario. And Remap is looking like he's going to be set up to really have the production advantage here. Nesh is behind on workers. He has less factories. He is getting speed. And we don't see any mines out just yet from either player. Okay, so Remap just now starting his mine research. And here they come. Here they come! It's all about the opening volley here. So, okay. Nesh needs to spread these out. Okay, he gets the first shots off. That's huge. But right now you can see a lot of these vultures kind of straggling in the rear. I think this is a good engagement here for Remap. But right now, Nesh kind of overwhelming the northern flank. Getting some of these Marines in the fray is also extremely helpful. But yeah, Remap does end up winning that engagement. And this could potentially be game-ending. When it comes to Vulture Wars, if... Oh yeah, get that barracks. Get it! So remap landing the barracks, reducing the surface area available for Nesh to bring more vultures to the fight, and starting marine production here. Every last bit helping in this fight. And not only that, but look, when he pulls his vultures up, Nesh's vultures are too busy shooting at this building. This is an absolute Giga Brain move. Pulling the boys. Got to get the SCVs in here on the fight, but right now it looks like Remap's got this. This is that moment where in Vulture Wars, you're just done. See, look at how much of a pain in the ass this barracks is being. Laying some mines. Nothing here yet that can even really detonate those. And you can see Remap just continuing to push the vultures across, and he takes game number 1. Goes to Remap. Very cool. Also, you like that new transition? I like it. All right, so Remap's going to go up to 1-0. Now, this is an interesting thing I noticed. Their next replay is also on Neo Sylphid, which isn't supposed to happen. So I might need to clarify with the players. Like, if you play on a map, you don't pick the map again. I think that's the right way to do it. Like, maybe we don't just keep playing on the same map over and over again. Anyway, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here we are. This time, same exact map, same exact spawns, just flip-flopped. Right now we've got Remap up on the 12 o'clock, and we've got Nesh down here in the bottom left. Let's see if they top versus bottomed it. Oh, no. We're going to have to look at Toothpaste versus Blue. Okay, so we saw Vulture Wars last game. And I don't know if I see a lot of Terran players go 5 factories so early when they're committing into Vultures. I'm wondering what the pros and cons of doing that is. Because Nesh going up to 4, that's not unreasonable. That's not unheard of. But the 5th one, it's kind of a big deal. Yeah, I hope this game's the exact same as well, maybe. They just changed positions, and they're like, alright, hey, let's do it over. I mean, three factory Vulture openings, not uncommon. Very, very standard build in TVT. Alright, so looks like Nesh building his barracks in the same spot that Nesh or Remap did last time. Remap doing the same thing as Nesh. So both these players very consistent in how they approach this map. Which also means, you know, no BBS, no craziness coming out here. Refineries going down. I don't think we're going to see any type of proxies from either of these players. Scouting pattern is a little different this time, though. So this time, looks like Remap is going to at least check the middle. Don't know if he's going to go to the bottom left. Looks like he's just checking the middle, and then he's going to continue down to the bottom right. I kind of like that slight adjustment. He's getting there a little bit later, but when in doubt, you know, make sure they're not BBSing you or something. Alright, so Remap is going to be getting up into Nesh's base. I'm sorry, other way around. The fact these colors and that they just swapped positions is not going to go well for me calling the right names. This is Nesh. This is Remap. Alright, so Remap heading over. Going to finally get observation of Nesh's base. Nesh only going with 1 Marine this time. So that's one small deviation from the last game. He did pull off gas though, so likely factory expand again. Pulled off gas here. It looks like both players about ready to take their expansion. This SCV heading out here for remap. About to get started. Nesh as well. And it looks like he's able to do that with his scouting SCV, so that was like really well timed. Came back just in time to get that established. Not quite getting the SCV. Alright, first vultures are out. Are we going into another vulture war? Okay, we'll see if a second factory goes down for both players here in just a second. That'll be one of the bigger indicators. Really likes this tree. It's a good tree. Alright, second factory is going down for Nesh and remap. Okay, so increased likelihood of another vulture war game with the same spawns. This is interesting, kind of hanging out off to the side over here. I wonder what that purpose is. In the event that maybe vultures come in here, then you can trap them in there. Oh, to also hide it from the barracks, so they don't know your true count. Okay, so we do have an earlier add-on this time. Well, I guess this is remap. Remap did this last time, so he did the add-on, went for speed. But it does look like Nesh is also throwing down an add-on. Last time, he went kind of hyper-aggressive on the vultures without upgrades. Oh no, this vulture running away. Not looking good for remap. Nesh's vultures on the run. In chase mode. And so we're going to have 2 vultures, a marine, and maybe 1 or 2 vultures popping out by the time this gets here. Does look like Nesh turned around, though. Okay, back to the bases. I want to see what's going on. So, triple factory vulture. Looks like we're getting speed for Nesh, and we're getting mines for remap. Okay, so speed will help a lot with the vulture war aspect. Mines will help a lot in the event we start following up with tanks. Okay, so remap is transitioning into tanks. He's going to start tank production on the factory with the add-on. And it looks like Nesh. Now, Nesh is the one to go up to 5 fact. Okay, we're starting to put some mines out here. I like this from remap. So he's starting his own tank production, so he's concerned about Nesh's potential tank production. And you can see that they're not really moving out too hard because they don't want to get that. They don't want to lose that first volley shot to the other player's vultures. But I like what remap is doing here, just mining up the entire map. And remap is just now starting to get tanks. So the first tank out, second tank on the way. Nesh not building tanks just yet, but he's building a metric F-ton of vultures. He's just now starting to get mines as well. So the mines potentially dangerous against remap's tanks if he can get up on top of them. And his vulture count is going to just explode here. It's going to go absolutely bonkers. Now, there's no detection right now. I don't think that we have scanners yet for remap. So he's getting these vultures up here to help shoot any mines that might pop up. Oh, these are his mines. Damn, these colors are going to kill me. All right, we're starting to siege up here on the high ground. Nesh starting to plant his own mines all across the center of the map. And he's going to go around this army. Holy crap. Everything that remap has is up here on this high ground. Nice arc from remap, but oh no. This is not looking good. These mines going to seal these tanks off as well. His entire army is stuck. Nesh is just massacring these SCVs. Holy crap. I want to see if these mines get any hits. It looks like the tanks are staying up here on the high ground, protecting the expansion. But the entire natural was just shredded. Oh, here come the mines. Oh, huge mine connection there. See, it takes like 8 trillion vulture shots to kill a tank. But it doesn't take very many mines. Oh my gosh, Nesh is just shredding remap's mineral line. And all these mines out here, if this tank pops out, it's just going to immediately detonate. So many SCVs down. Remap is at 13, 14, 12. See? The tank just got obliterated. There's just not enough here. There's not enough. These tanks still chilling. And that's going to be a GG. So we are at 1-1. That was a decisive victory from Nesh. And I think it was largely just the position, right? Like if these tanks were chilling back here, might have been a different story. But that was a lot of vultures. Very cool. All right, let's go into the third and final game. This one, I don't think is going to be on Neo Sylphid, if I remember right. Be funny if it was, though. No, this one's going to be on Polestar. Alrighty. Let's get into it. Let's watch Eagle and the other name duke it out. Hopefully G5, if you're out there watching this in the far, far future on YouTube or Twitch, hopefully you're happy with the gameplay you're seeing here. I know you want to see this. All right, let's see if they have the fix. Nope, they didn't. All right, but yellow versus red, that's a lot easier to see. Remap up here on Polestar, 4-player map in the top right, representing Team Chaos. Team Unhinged being represented by Nesh, Eagle 2. Used to know a guy, that was his call sign. Alright. Nothing happening yet. Hopefully we get some more Vulture Wars. I mean, so far, for a TVT series, this is going pretty quick. It's going pretty quick. I think both of the first matches were 8 minutes each. Now, I'm not against watching a long, drawn-out TVT, but I just want to see these other games, too. We have a good lineup tonight. Impervious. That was what the name was. Impervious. A lot of guys from NAC are in here. Playing in SCUL. Whoa. This is something I need to remember to always do when I play as well. Get these barracks up towards the edge where they can start floating out and cut all that time from, you know, maybe being built way back here. Like, just start it closer to the edge. Alright, so refinery's going down for both. Cool, 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 cool. So no cheese coming from either of them. Kind of want to see like a 2-fact opening from one of these guys. I want to see something hyper aggressive. But when it's all matched up 1-1, I don't know what the correct play is. Alright, so both players do have their scouting SCVs out on the map. Does look like Nesh is going to come down here to the bottom right, not see anything. Remap's going to head up to the top left, not see anything. And both players are going to start getting their factories. Looking real good. So last game, we saw Nesh only build 1 Marine. I want to know if that's what he's going to do again. I feel wildly uncomfortable without 2. 2 just helps from that singular vulture that might come in. Yeah, sure enough. 1 Marine. I guess the idea is that if you can get your own vulture out, then you should be fine. This just helps get that scouting SCV out of the way. So maybe that's the right way to do it. But you can see up here, Remap, he makes 2. Okay, Marine's going to go chasing for a little bit. I want to keep an eye on what's going on here. So both players have confirmed cross-spawn location. We have gas and gas both being pulled off from each of our players. We've already got the expansions going down. Okay, very, very standard. All right, so now here's where the deviations start. This is where we got to start paying attention. Are you going to start throwing add-ons? Are they going to just throw down 3 factories, 2 factories? They're going to go up to 5. Seems to be between these two. Whoever can build 5 factories first wins. So far, that's been the trend. Where's Nesh's Marine? Oh, there he is. I think he... Oh, no, he didn't get that SCV. But he definitely chased for a long time. All right, we're back on gas. Cool, 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 cool. All right, we're going up to 2. We're going up to 3 vultures before add-on. So right now, Nesh, he does 2, and then add-on and factory. Okay, so that speeds up the factory timing a little bit, I think. He's getting his add-on, though. 3rd factory. Okay, so this is where the deviation is. I think what we're going to see is a much more vulture-heavy build from Remap than Nesh. Or at least there will be a point where he has more vultures and can maybe make something happen. He is moving across the map. Now, he's still waiting on his machine shop, though. So mines are still about 45 seconds away, I think. I think mines take about 30 seconds. It's a quick upgrade. Nesh is already getting speed going. Oh, okay. So Remap also going speed, which we've seen. I think both of the last games he also did speed first. Nesh did mines first last game. No, he didn't. No, Remap did. The player that was in the north did. All right. 3 factories, pumping vultures. 3 factories, pumping vultures. A lot of pumping. A lot of pumping going on. That's just barracks. Took a beating there. Here comes Remaps. Okay, I think Nesh right now might actually have that vulture superiority. Right now we got 9 for Remap. Nesh at 8, 9. Okay, so I guess they are, well, I guess 10, 11, 12. Okay. But he's going to be attacking here with equal footing, but the Marines, you cannot forget the Marines. In fact, I've heard advice being that if you're attacking with vultures in a vulture war, you got to kill the Marines first. Just target them down real fast, because their DPS just gets out of control. Oh, man. And maybe those Marines are exactly what Remap needed to completely wipe out Nesh's vulture force here. Holy crap. Okay, so what's at home? Because Remap's coming. We've got 1 Marine, 3 vultures. Now we'll have Defender's advantage here. 4 factories pumping. But he needs to keep these alive. And we're doing the same thing game 1. Okay, so the barracks lands. We're starting to get some repairs as well. Now Nesh is chasing, but there's going to be Marines popping out here. So I want to see how effective those are. Probably not at all. I would guess that these vultures are just going to run back and take this Marine out. Yeah, and it pops out and starts shooting the CC anyway, so it's not going to really get anything done. Now, if we start getting... Okay, now it's shooting at SCVs on gas. They'll be knocked out here. Dead. Okay, so Remap's going to lift that off. I do love that. That's such a cute little move, though. Definitely going to incorporate that into my own play. All right, so 9 vultures here. And, metric butt ton for Remap. So it looks like we're probably going to have to transition from Vulture Wars here. Now, both players should have mines upgraded at this point. Nesh is already working... Oh, okay, so Remap's working on mines. Nesh is already working towards Siege and a starport. Where is that starport? There it is. Okay, so we might be starting to see some wraiths or even dropships showing up here. Maybe. He might be just using it for upgrades. Because he's also building, I think, a second armory. Or maybe he's just getting his first. I think that might be just his first armory. Okay, so Nesh just needs to hold out here for a bit. Start getting those upgrades. Maybe sprinkle in a couple air units. And then he'll be okay. But right now, I think Remap kind of has the superior ground force. I mean, you can look at the supplies. He's up 5 workers. He's up 20 supply total. So things are looking pretty good for him. Still at 4 factories for both of them. As we've determined, between these two players, whoever gets the 5th factory wins. That's what we've seen so far. Alright, we've got tanks sprinkled in. Now, Nesh already has siege mode. We're still waiting on siege mode from Remap. A couple Goliaths. Excellent. This barracks probably had the opportunity to see what was going on in here as well. Okay, so it looks like Nesh is starting to gear up to take his 3rd. Remap's already building on site. We'll see if Nesh gets over there in time to see that happening. He might even have an opportunity to delay it a little bit. Yeah, he's going to sneak these vultures right around. There we go, schwack. Ooh, are they going to get all the way up into the natural? They do. We're going to start killing some of these SCVs. So still at 40. Okay, so just now, Nesh was able to surpass Remap in SCV count because those sneaky, sneaky vultures brought the entirety of Remap's army back as well. So now Nesh just kind of sending vultures out, preparing to take this 3rd. This one's been delayed. Another SCV is going to have to come out here. So that gave him time. Gave him time to get this CC closer to completion. Gosh dang, these mines all over the map. I don't know what's a unit, what's not. Holy crap, another vulture raid coming in. Gonna be getting some more SCVs for free. Now on top of the factories too. I'd like to see some mines placed over here. By the way, 5 factories. Just saying. Wow, good amount of SCVs going down here. Very good vulture raid from Nesh. Wow, this guy's still going. Holy crap, 6 kills? That was insane. Alright, so 42 to 48 on worker counts. Okay, Nesh trying to secure the 3rd for his expansion. Now, this is a lot of vultures, though. Now, we do have Goliaths and siege tanks, so he'd have to get very, very lucky with some mines, I think, for this to break through. And we haven't started floating the CC over yet. Oh, 6 factories. This is 7th. We're going up to 7 factories. That's in preparation for getting that 3rd base. Holy crap, this shooting far. By the way, we still don't have any upgrades for either player. We have +1 on the way for both Nesh and Remap. Nesh's will finish up a little bit earlier. And we haven't seen anything come out of the starport either. Which you can see if I zoom in. What? Oh, there it is. He had to move it. Remap's actually the one making something out of a starport. Ooh. Unfortunate mine connection there. Vultures everywhere. And we're starting to set up a contain. So the 3rd's already been taken. We have another vulture raid up here. Remap's 3rd, not as heavily secured as Nesh's. Oh my gosh. The number of SCVs that have been wiped out in this game is starting to grow wildly. Alright, we're having a little bit of a push here. The tanks that Remap is using to contain are doing a good job of keeping this weak. Now, the vultures that came through here weren't able to get a ton done, and they do have to run all the way back to take care of this raid. That's just being so annoying with these vultures. Look at this. Now we have like a 14 SCV difference. It's wild. And not only that, but we need the gas. We need the gas up and running. Now, Remap has a lot of gas banked up. But he's still going to need those if he's going to explode his factory count like he's doing right now. We're going up to Science Facility. Going to start working on those upgrades. Now, I know that there's wraiths on the map. There's one. But I don't know where they're at. I know Remap has one as well. Not sure. Okay, so it looks like Nesh sealing this off so that he can potentially start taking a 4th, which is a good idea because Remap's thinking about it. Now, he's a little broke right now, but it's definitely on his list of things to do. Alright, so Nesh kind of moving across the south side of the map. Getting his Wraith out here. Okay, so we've exposed Wraiths are present. But Nesh slowly just creeping along the bottom of this map. Ooh, another Vulture Raid. Holy crap! There's nothing here again. We have one Wraith, but that's not gonna take these Vultures out very quickly. Okay, so Nesh is gonna try to drop some mines. They die kind of en route. Oh man. Okay, but Remap's doing a really good job of rebuilding his SCV count. So the disparity is only 10 SCVs right now. Nesh, I imagine, probably isn't making any more at the moment. Okay, he's making a couple. But he already has 69. And how many factories do we have? We have 6. So we have 9 factories here for Nesh. Good amount of Wraiths coming out for Remap. It's going to knock out this, this barracks. Might need to be a little bit careful, though. If these get drawn in, these Goliaths could make short work of them. But it looks like the barracks is actually going to go down. Okay, so that's some valuable vision that's being lost for Nesh, and Remap's taking that opportunity right away. Okay, but the scan goes off. He sees the army. But Remap comes back in. All right, here we go. Let's see how this goes. Oh, this is a tight choke on top of a lot of tanks arced here. This could go very poorly for Remap, but he does have +1. So does Nesh, though. I think this is maybe a good trade for Nesh. Remap's just a little too far to start hitting the economy here at the 3rd base. Now, meanwhile, Nesh taking his 4th, Remap taking his 4th. Okay, so both players playing very, very similar to one another. Okay, now we've got some Wraiths coming in. This will clean up these tanks unless something shows up quickly to help out. Okay, these Wraiths look like they're about to get a ton of value. Also, on the right flank, Vulture's coming up, mining all these siege tanks. It looks like he's preparing to get another raid. Oh, and he's placing mines in the path of reinforcements. Brilliant. I think that Nesh is slowly going to be able to take these tanks out. Yeah, you can see he's moving up here to the high ground now. Re-sieging. Slowly pushing these back. Okay, so we've got some SCVs. These will repair. I'm wondering if there's any opportunity for Remap to start plopping down some turrets. Because I don't see any Goliaths on the field yet for him. He has 1 Wraith. There's a Goliath. There's a few more queued up. And he's getting Goliath range as well. So I think Remap will be shutting down these Wraiths relatively soon. Another Vulture raid. I want to keep an eye on this. These have been doing so much work for Nesh. Okay, bunch of mines being thrown down, but they're kind of getting shredded before they do anything. Only 3 make it to the mineral line, so not super effective, but definitely keeping a good portion of Remap's army back and kind of pulling him apart while he's moving behind. Okay, Nesh needs to be careful here. Okay, so he notices the Goliath shooting at his Wraiths, pulls them away. Now, what we haven't seen is Nesh try to raid the 12 o'clock. I don't think he may have scanned it, but I think that there might be a very real possibility or, you know, a vulnerability there where Nesh could come up here and start knocking these out. He's been so active with his Vultures, but he's been focusing them all over here. Oh man, Nesh is just moving across the middle of the map, cleaning up these little groups that Remap has sprinkled about. Now we gotta be careful with these mines though. Okay, we're not gonna get quite that far. Big siege from both players. Now we're at 2-0 upgrades right now for Nesh, and you can see how effective that is in these tank battles. Okay, he did get a scan off. He's gonna shred through these mines real quick. Looks like it wore off. This is definitely at risk of being wiped out here. There's no Goliaths left. Bringing in a whole bunch of Wraiths. And I think Nesh is smelling the blood on the water in this little area. But I want to see this main push going through the middle of the map. So only a couple siege tanks here from Remap protecting the 3rd base. The rally back here, bringing some more up, but oh, he can't push into this. He can't push into this. Okay, he's sieging up. Unfortunate that the first few shots went on like 1 Vulture though. Oh man, this is just so many tanks from Nesh. There's not much back at home for Remap. This is looking bad. Meanwhile, the Wraiths, too, we can't forget about them. Because that tank count was just completely obliterated, he can't use those factories to start generating Goliaths, right? He's got to get those tanks up and running. And he still needs the Vultures, because they need to eat all these tank shots. So, in a tricky spot. Again, Nesh going for the economy. Taking out these tanks as they're rolling up. And Remap has just recently gotten his +2 as well. By the way, Nesh is almost at +3. And he's double expanding. Somewhere. I know there's another one. But I don't see it. Oh, he's doing it in the base. Okay, got it. Alright, so the third base has been eliminated for Remap. Nesh has a commanding lead at the moment. Remap trying to make something happen, trying to move up towards the 12 o'clock. He knows he has to keep this mining base alive and healthy. And Nesh has so much army. He's able to leave like 6 tanks over here and slowly tighten the noose on Remap. It's been a good game so far. Dude, Wraiths are such paper airplanes. It's insane. Alright, let's see what Remap can get done here. I think... Oh, there's too much defense. There's a tank here. There's nothing here, though. But even if he did come in and kill his SCVs, what Remap needs is he needs to kill this army. Or deny some of these additional bases. But really, I feel like Remap's whole game plan right now is re-secure his third. Okay, so finally here at the 12 o'clock, a Vulture raid does get up in there. And we're going to lose all these SCVs. They're going to come funneling down here straight into the crosshairs of these tanks. Oh my gosh, we're down to 44 now for Remap. Okay, so 2 bases down, and he just mined out of his natural. He has like 180 minerals left to mine, and there it is. Remap throws in the GG. All right. Very fun. So we can delete this, and we now know Nesh beat Remap 2-1. Let's see what do we want to watch next? We got Ozzy versus Erob, which is what I was going to do here. I didn't want to watch PvP. We've got, I think I picked Father Nomad in this one, or G5 Mars. Let's watch G5 Mars. All right. So G5 representing Team Unhinged. That was the team that Nesh just earned 2 map wins for. And then Mars is going to be representing Team Legion. Let me go ahead and pull those up. All right, first game is going to be on Neo Sylphid. As always, this is going to be a TVP. Mars Terran, G5 is Protoss. Let me go ahead and fix our handy-dandy scorecard here. G5. I felt silly when G5 first showed up in SCUL. I was like, who's this guy? Who's G5? Never heard of him. Apparently he's been around a long time. And everyone knows him. Alright, these guys didn't top first bottom either, so we are going to have our pink Terran spawning up here in the 12 o'clock. This is Mars. Then down here in the bottom right, representing Team Chaos in our pretty green color. It's pale green, seafoam green. This is going to be G5, our Protoss player. Alright, so I think the days of Vulture Wars are behind us. We don't have to watch those for the rest of the night. No more TVTs tonight, I think. Is Father Nomad a TVT? Might be. Ah. Delicious. Alright, so dropping the pylon, sending out the scout nice and early here. G5 is going to get a first scout on Mars. Interesting depot placement. I don't have any good reason to say that. That's what people say in the first minute and a half of the game. Barracks being dropped down right here near the entrance. I like it. Oh, and a gas steal! Oh! Freaking hate Protoss, dude. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I want to pay close attention to how Mars reacts from this, because I have no idea how to react to gas steal. I know the first rule is don't panic. Or actually, the first rule is don't let them steal your gas. The second rule is don't panic. Okay, so that might be why G5 was going for the early scout. I know it's not terribly uncommon to scout after first pylon. It might even be standard in PvT. But I know sometimes they wait until after gate as well. But if you go after the pylon and you get a first scout, you can steal their gas. Alright, so we're pulling four SCVs. To start chugging along on this, we're going to get the Marine. We'll see if the Marine comes over here to help. He does. And now we're getting the scout out for Mars. Mars just lightly supply blocked. This is pretty normal, though. Got it up. And you can see how much a gas steal delays a factory, right? Like, we're already 20 seconds behind getting the factory up, and we don't even have our refinery up. It's bonkers. Alright, so now we're getting our refinery. We've got our 3 Marines. And it looks like we might just go into a fast expansion. Interesting. I wonder... I guess you do want to prioritize the refinery over the expansion, huh? I actually don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to respond to a gas steal very well. But I was thinking there might be a world where you kill this slower, get your refinery a little bit slower, and after you drop your command center, and you rush to bunker first. Kind of like this. But I guess if he is able to get this up in mining, it'll speed up his factory timing. Probably be better off, so I like that. This Dragoon really going on the chase. And he can get away with this because he knows there's no Vulture coming. There's no need to leave another one back home during that weird little off time where this one was being built, because he knows nothing's going to happen. It's the power of the gas steal, baby. And he got it. Beautiful. And he found another one to chase. Is this a body block? Oh my gosh. Body blocks the SCV. No scouting for Mars allowed. And range is just about complete. So range is going to complete. The Dragoons are going to come up here. They're going to start plinking away at this bunker. And we're still waiting on our factory to be done. We are throwing down a second factory. Getting our engineering bay. Good, good. Got to get your safety turret. Alright, so the annoying Dragoon dance has started. Ooh, looks like we might be going up to a very fast third base. Yeah, holy crap. 5 minute, 10-second third. And it doesn't even feel greedy at this point. Okay, we've got the machine shop. We got our first tank on the way for Mars. Meanwhile, Protoss double expanding. Has the Dragoons out here plinking away. Tough spot, man. Coming back from a gas steal sucks. Because as Protoss, you can just get away with doing whatever you want. You want an expansion? Go get an expansion. Alright, but now that the tank's out here, it does need to be careful. We have 4 Dragoons, so 2 volleys kills the tank. And he's diving. He's diving on the tank. 2 volleys. Boom. Oh! I'd be so pissed off if I was Mars right now. And look, Dragoons don't even take that much damage. This one's the only one that lost health. Meanwhile, Mars is spending a small fortune on repairing this bunker. Okay, tank number 2. Here we go. Now, we're still not researching siege. We're not quite there yet. Using the barracks to cover the tank, though, this will help a lot with the target firing from those dragoons. All right, 2 tanks now. That's enough to say, get off my lawn. Almost loses the dragoon there as well. All right, so I imagine we're going to be on pure tank production for a hot minute. We need to lock these 2 bases down. Meanwhile, Protoss, what do we have? We've gone up to 3 gateways. We do have the Robo. Going up to 4 gateways. And the Observatory. Okay. So, a little bit of a window here where this could be damaging. I don't know. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe that's a wrong thought because we still have 3 gateways pumping Dragoons nonstop. I feel like if he had gotten a little bit more damage on the Dragoons, didn't lose that first tank, we could have done a 5 tank push right here. But I guess we'll see how effective it is with 4 tanks. But that's really good to know. And he just needs to go. Alright, defending the 3rd base. A few over here. We do have a Vulture. It's going to be out poking around. Trying to identify where that 3rd base is. I feel like it's a given at this point. We're at 7.5 minutes. Even if it wasn't a fast 3rd, we know that there's probably a 3rd out there. Especially since we've been cooped up in the natural for so long. Alright, we're starting to get our Vultures out. We still don't have mines. Oh, we do have mines. I missed that. Here we go. Alright, Vulture's getting up there. That could be a juicy mine. That could be a juicy mine. No juice from these mines, though. We're trying. Gotta try to keep these tanks alive. This is going pretty well for Mars. Not gonna lie. But we still gotta be careful about these tanks. We don't have any Vultures here anymore. Now we're a little bit in a shaky position. Let's see if these Vultures can get anything done. Alright, he's going to come in here. He's going to drop some mines in the walkway. There is a Dragoon still at home, though. Meanwhile, I want to just point out 2 tanks remaining from that push. Could have been a lot worse. He kept a couple of the tanks alive. That's good. And he's getting some probe damage. Beautiful. Alright, so 47, 46 workers. Only a couple tanks still alive. Mars may have been sent back to the Stone Age here a little bit with his army count. There's about 6 Dragoons. We do have a shuttle. Crap, do we have Reaver Tech or anything? No, not yet. Okay, so this might just be for like Zealot bombs and stuff. Disgusting taking a 4th base. Protoss can do anything. Alright, we're having to turtle up a little bit. Okay, so Mars is working towards getting his 3rd. Getting a 3rd factory up. It does have +1 weapons on the way. You can see here, we are starting Zealot production. So I think that right now, that's what this shuttle is really for. We'll see if he uses it aggressively. Maybe doing some drops in like the mineral lines. But I don't really think that's going to be the purpose of them. I think this is to bomb out sieged up positions. But he is using the observer. He was peeking around over here. Identified that there was a turret somewhere. You can see it's a little jacked up. Look at this. He's going to expand again. He's going to go up to a 5th base. Ooh! Surprise! There's a mine here. Yeah, okay. So we are going up to a 5th base. Now, it looks like Mars is preparing to take his 3rd. This is a tough thing to do, I think, right now. He needs to try. He's got a bunch of tanks here. Big risk would be basically just a full-blown attack going straight into the natural. And the observer's here. The observer sees this going down. So let's see how G5 approaches this attack. It looks like he's about to do kind of a 2-prong attack. Oh, and then enter the Zealots. Oh man, there goes half the tanks that were here and available, and then here come the Dragoons. Textbook play here from G5. Wow, that's like the tankiest observer of all time. Okay, Mars rushing everything to the front line here. Needs to move these tanks up just a tad. Keep these Dragoons off his lawn. Does force them back. Meanwhile, Protoss is up to about five bases. Still waiting for +1 to kick in for Terran, and Zealot legs are on the way. Could maybe get a successful raid going on down here before that cannon finishes. Maybe not so much anymore. Alright, they get cleaned up. Yikes. I mean, hey, kudos to Mars for getting to this point after a gas steal. Like, I'm telling you, like, if you steal my gas and we're playing, it's GG. Like, I am unable to recover from that. Yeah, we got some scans going down. Looks like he's checking out the main base. He is going to see the Stargates. Yeah, and the Templar tech. Looks like we're getting our second armory. Okay, good, good. All is good. Yeah, things are actually looking alright here. This is, we got ourselves a game. Mars was able to turn this into a game after that initial lead from G5. Alright, so G5 poking in here a little bit. He is going to catch this SCV, which kind of sucks. Because this SCV was intended, I think, to go over here and maybe start a fourth. And you can see the vultures here, even they're hiding. Like, he doesn't even want to show that they're over there defending. Going to try to sneak around the outside. Oh, no, but there's nothing here. These vultures are going to get trapped up here by these dragoons. Now, I don't see an observer here right now, though. So the mines are, I'll keep the dragoons out here for a bit. Vultures are going to identify this base. But G5 has cannons everywhere. Once the observer shows up, dragoons will knock this out, no problem. And we just lost a bunch of vultures. Alright, now we're starting to get the fourth. Mars is starting to build up a little bit of a tank count. You can see he started sprinkling in the Goliaths. I mean, he had that shuttle show up earlier. But he started seeing the Stargates go down. Now, what he saw, though, was Templar tech. Okay, cat's out of the bag now. We got carriers coming. They are about to arrive. But look at this. He's building an Arbiter still. So he sees blinking Stargate. He sees Fleet Beacon. He's thinking carriers. What's actually coming is Arbiter. Okay, big engagement here right outside the Terran side of the map. Sieging up real well, killing the observers en route. This is good. This is good. Oh, we don't want to overextend here with our tanks, though. Okay, continuing to push back the Protoss army. Now, G5's almost maxed out. So we got to be careful. Holy zealots. Look at them. They're just charging through here. Now, luckily, the tanks are spread pretty well, but, oh my gosh, they're just collapsing so hard. Zealots, man. Zealots. They're pretty good. And that was it. GG. Holy G House. Alright, so G5, a member of G House, is going to take game number 1. Let's go ahead and go into game number 2 between these two powerhouses. And this one is going to be on Polestar. That was a good match. That was a fun match. I hope we don't see another gas steal. They just don't feel good. It's just a pure feel bad moment, I think, when a gas gets stolen. Alright, here we go. G5 top right, Mars bottom left, cross spawn. Cross spawn Protoss. So last time we saw G5 drop his pylon, go run straight to a gas, and steal it. Let's see if it happens again. I would not personally be a fan of it happening again. But even with that gas steal, which I'm really dwelling on because, like I said, it feels like a cheat code. Mars was still able to make a game of it. Alright, so pylon down. Are we going fast scout again? It doesn't look like it. Okay, so this is what I was talking about before with, I think he did that because it was a 3-player map. Because it was Neo Sylphid. I don't think that it's a standard 4-player map experience we would be expecting from Protoss. Okay, now the gateway sends scout. Alright, a little bit more of a standard SimCity here. Alright, everything's good. Look at a nice standard opening. No cross-spawn Nexus first. No gas steals. And both these players are actually brand new to SCUL. So this is their first season. I haven't seen either of them play. Well, I guess I have seen Mars play. He's been streaming. He's got a pretty fun stream, actually. He's been doing a lot of these like show matches where he'll just cast some matches, but he's been streaming his own gameplay as well. So you should check him out. But that's the only time I've seen him play. I haven't seen him play anyone in SCUL, and I haven't seen G5 play at all. So this has been a treat. Alright, we're trying to get our factory down. This freaking probe. Okay, factory still does go down. No issues there. Marine's here to cover him. And we're still scouting as Mars. So it looks like Mars is doing an end scout. And I don't think we're going to be seeing Zealot pressure. No, we already have the core. We're getting range, going straight Dragoons. Alright, let's see how Mars does this now that he has a factory. Oh, maybe a very different game. Alright, SCV unlikely to get up into the main though. Ooh, body blocked. Nice. Nice job by G5 there. Now last game we saw him chase. Okay, didn't need to that time. Was able to knock it out, no problem. Alright, CC going down, and going down pretty early relative to the Nexus. We're up at 28 supply here for Protoss, now getting our Nexus at 4 minutes. Oh, I thought he was going to drop it right there. I guess we're continuing non-stop goon production. We got 2 heading across the map. And the Vulture's going to sneak away. Bunker is up. Okay, all is good in the world. I don't think G5 has seen the expansion, though. So he'll probably poke in at some point just to make sure it's there. Ooh, got a little too close. Waiting for that range to kick in. It's about to kick in any second. Wow, this Dragoon is just a bullet magnet. It cannot find the spot. Okay, he backs up completely. Probably takes care of some stuff at home. And here comes the Vulture. So we do have Run Dragoon on the ramp. No probes down here that are easy pickings. Nice disciplined play there from G5. Might actually catch that Vulture running back with these two. But I think what happened is I think he actually took damage to the point where he just didn't feel like it was worth it anymore. He knew the tank was going to come out. So might as well just head on back home. Very different game than game 1. This is great. Alright, we're going up to 3 gateways. Getting our robo. Last time we did observatory and all of that. But also, just to showcase how early last game that 3rd base was for Protoss, that base would have already been down for 20 seconds for Protoss last game. That's how fast G5 put that down, how greedy he was being. Okay, no eBay or Armory yet, I don't think. So not gonna have turrets, but maybe he just knows, like, he's seen so many goons in the expansion that we wouldn't be expecting like DT tech or anything. And no Armory to prepare with any type of Goliath for safety. So I think he's gearing up legit for a 5-tank push. So he's going to get these 5 tanks, he's going to unload, he's going to bring his 7 Marines, he's going to rally vultures, he's going to try to make something happen. Alright, here we go. Right on cue. So last game he tried this, but it was like a minute later. And a tank less. So this, and he did pretty well with it too, right? Like, at the end of that engagement, there was only a few Dragoons remaining. Let's see how effective this push goes this time. We do have the Observer, it's going to show up. It's going to spot this move out. And here come the goons. Okay, so G5 moving forward, getting on top of this high ground. He's going to try to delay. He's going to try to buy some time. He might even be able to jump on top of this and get a lot of damage done. The Marine's doing a good amount of work here. Not a lot of vulture support, though. So we're just now getting mines. All the tanks have been wiped out. But at what cost, right? Like, still... man, actually, that engagement was just really good for G5, I think. Now, they're still in about equal supply. But we lost all the tanks. We lost all the tanks. Now, we are getting our eBay. We're getting our missile turret. And we're going back into tank production. So now, Mars has the vultures out on the map. He's going to start sprinkling some mines everywhere. He's looking for that third base. He knows that it's either here or here. Or I guess it's most likely in one of those 2 spots. Oh, man. Things are looking pretty good here for G5, I think. He repelled that push so well. Did not allow Terran to get sieged up and established. Met him in the middle of the map and got the jump on him. I'm going to snooze this ad. I think I have an ad coming up or something. I don't want ads right now. Alright, so probe transfer, third base up. That's where we're at. Third base being built for Mars. It's a little early too, actually. Still staying on 2 factories, but getting that armory up. Okay, Mars has identified the third base. Ooh, Citadel. Now here at the third. Now, last time we saw G5 load up his shuttle with Zealots, to great effect. I saw the shuttle last time and I was like, okay, where's the Reaver? Where's the DT or whatever? No, he's just using them for Zealots. And last time on Neo Sylphid, there was like 5 tanks defending that third base, and these 4 Zealots basically broke the position. So it looks like we might be preparing for a double expansion here. I guess it's not really a double expansion, but going up to his 4th. And we do have the CC done for Mars, but does Mars have enough to actually move up to that third base, defend it, and get that CC? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I think he needs a lot more. And I think he thinks that too, because he hasn't floated this off yet. Like, if he just protects it with tanks, then those Zealots are going to crush him. He needs to get some more vultures. He looks like he's working on that. Getting 4, going up to 6 factories. Getting his +1. Alright. Get out of here, Observer. Oh my gosh. Going up to a 5th base. Okay. So, Protoss is expanding. Terran's trying to expand. A lot of expansion going on right now. Now, this isn't enough to really do a whole lot. But together, they could really be annoying here. Now, this is kind of cool in the sense that if he pokes in from this side, then these guys can hit the natural, or the third base. If he pokes in on the third base, then these guys can go hit the natural. So I like the two-pronged attack approach here. Plenty of turrets this time. Okay, so now we're shifting some tanks up here on the high ground. I'm curious to see what happens here. What he does with these Dragoons. Ooh, trying to have the Zealots. Not as effective as last time. But he is going to still get a couple of these tanks. Okay, that was actually pretty effective. Not as effective as last time. Kills all the tanks with 3 Zealots. Goodness, denying that third while going up to a 5th. Absolutely huge play here for G5. He doesn't need to push this anymore. He can just pull back and chill for a minute. Macro up. Let's see what kind of tech he's going into. We're getting more gateways now. Going up to 8 gateways. And we are getting air weapons. So we might be seeing another play for carriers. Stargate going down now. Another Stargate. Disgusting. All right. Well, I had never seen G5 play before. Turns out he likes carriers. All right. That's kind of a style thing. I dig it. Big gateway explosion here. Bunch of scans. Oh, but does he see the... He does. He sees the Stargates. He knows they're out there. He knows that what's coming. You don't make 3 Stargates for Arbiters, you know? Alright, Mars slowly getting this third base up and mining. Starting to have a little bit of a force that's quite formidable here on the ground. A bunch of tanks now. But almost a whole control group there. Getting a decent amount of vultures. And he's got the factories to at least remax and keep that machine rolling. But, oh, we got to be careful about giving these vultures away. They do squirt on by, though. Okay, he's hunting for bases. Unfortunately, there's not going to be anything down there for him to find. A couple nice little mine connections, though. Is annoying for the Protoss player. And this opens up a window where these vultures might actually identify this. Now, I know Mars dropped a bunch of scans, but I don't know what he scanned. This looks like it was from the initial scouting, so I'm not going to say he knows that that's there yet. Okay, cannons are going to shut this down. Dragoons are going to seal the deal. Alright, so what's the play? What's the play? We know carriers are going to come. Supply isn't that bad right now. Mars has done a really good job of macroing right back up. Bunch in the bank for G5. I don't know if you need a bank like this when you're going to transition to carriers. Maybe you just need the shit ton of money. But he's got 82 probes, and he is just mining out the map right now. Can't keep up with how rich he is. It's a good problem to have. Ooh. A couple goons go down. You can see the vultures reacting. He knows the army's over here on this side of the map right now. Alright, more scans. What does he see? Alright, he's just identifying where the army is. Bunch of mines. Some of them might actually connect. There are a few connections here. Nice. That was huge. Huge. This Arbiter, been sitting here for the whole game. Okay, very cool. I want to take a little bit of stock where we're at. Okay, so 0 upgrades for the Protoss. For Terran, we're at 1-0, but we're about to go to 2-1. So that might be a trigger for Mars. We'll have to see. We're also getting 6 Goliaths. So knowing that the carriers are coming is definitely on his mind. And they're getting very close to coming. And not just 1 or 2. 5. He's got 5 carriers being made right now. This is the moment where Protoss is vulnerable. So I think if Mars can make this push work for him, he might be able to get a lot of damage done. He might be able to actually get up in the main if he's able to be aggressive enough and has some favorable trades. But right now, Protoss doing a really good job of delaying him, forcing him to siege up, bringing these zealots in. Just moving him around the map. You can see the supply slowly dipping. They're about evened up right now. Ooh, good mines. Real good mines. That was nice. But you can also see this entire army is being pulled completely to the right. Oh, that was unfortunate. That spider mine really worked for that. Okay, here they are. They've arrived. But they don't have their interceptors yet, right? So we can still make something happen here as Terran. Does he want to hit the third? Does he just want to leave a couple here? It looks like he might split. Yeah, leave a few here, a couple defend, and then just start pushing. He can probably get up in here. There's like no ground army at all. He just needs to push. Down here, we've got some damage going down with a few siege tanks. Beautiful, beautiful. Love it for our Terran hero. Natural about to be wiped out. But guys, this is 5 carriers. We've got 4 more about to pop out. Went from 0 to 9 carriers in like 0-ish seconds. This is not easy to deal with. Now, how many Goliaths do we have? We have at least a control group. And they are sitting at 2-1. But we need to make the most of these tanks, because they are not going to be around for very long. What do we have? We're building 6 Goliaths at a time. Oh gosh, do we have vision up here? Looks like we do. We can start knock. Oh, they're all unpowered. They were all being powered by a freaking Artosis pylon. Okay. And the third base was knocked out. This is wild. But this is still so many carriers. 7 carriers, tons of tanks rolling in. No mining left here. Okay, we got a lot of zealots though. Now we're out of money for Terran. Terran's on 1 mining base, he's starting another. Okay? Protoss is still not dead, right? When you have freaking a gajillion carriers and you still have mining bases, you are very much in the game still. How's our Goliath count? Goliath count is down to 10. Oh, but we just brought in some reinforcements. But holy round of zealots, Batman. They're charging in. Gonna get on top of these tanks. If they can get on top of the tanks, wipe them out, then the zealots will shred these Goliaths while they're paying attention to the carriers. Oh my gosh. The zealots are just crushing through this. Now you can see Cloak Wraiths coming up. I like this move from Mars. Especially because I think... Oh no, he didn't knock out the Robo facility. If he had knocked that out, then it just makes so much sense. But even without it, like, even if he keeps a couple of observers with him, you can ambush those observers with just a good scan. You scan, bring in your Cloaked Wraiths, shoot them down, and then free pickings on the carriers. But it is expensive and it takes a while to get that count up. Oh my gosh. Zealot raids on the opposite side of the map as the carriers. The carriers beelining it straight to one of the only mining bases and going to catch the SCV transfer. This is insane. But you know, Mars hit right when he was supposed to. You know, maybe a little earlier would have been good. But that was the one moment of vulnerability. And he got a lot of damage done, knocking down 2 bases, killing a bunch of production. But when carriers arrive... Oh my gosh, he shows up, kills the CC, walks away. Alright, what's Mars scanning here? He's scanning up here, he's seeing the probe transfer, that's about it. Man, all these carriers are still super healthy too. Supply is really starting to flip as well. We're long distance mining from this base, And unfortunately, all these SCVs are just going to get shredded. We're down to 61 right now, which is not terrible. But really what I'm concerned about is the army size. Okay, here come the cloak wraiths. This could be what we needed to start thinning out this carrier count. I don't see any observers. Is there one coming? There's an observer. Okay, we need to scan and we need to kill it. We need to scan and kill it, quick. Ah. GG. That was a good game. That was a good game. G5 is going to take that series 2-0. All right, so G5 earning unhinged 2 points from that series. And so that combined with Nesh at this point, unhinged is looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. What do we want to cast next? What do we want to cast next? We've got, I think on this one I was going to do Ozzy versus Erob, or I was going to do Father Nomad. Let's check out the Ozzy Erob match. I think that sounds like a good time. Sounds like a real good time. Yeah, let's do it. All right, so Ozzy representing Team Savage, Erob representing Team Chaos. And we're going to be starting off on Neo Sylphid again. Who was what team was Erob on? Chaos, that's right. Okay, cool, excellent. We got the scoreboard all looking nice and pretty. And look at this, we've got colors. Colors that make sense. Blue and red. And up here, representing Team Chaos, our red Protoss is Erob. Down here in the bottom left, Ozzy to Hockey. Our blue Terran representing Team Savage. Savage team, the dominant team from Season 1. They ended up winning it all last season, trying to defend their title going into Season 2. Okay, so last time we saw a TVP on this map, we saw the Pylon Scout into Gas Steel. Not seeing that this time. So Ozzy's going to be able to get his gas up. If he goes that route, but I imagine he will. So probably Gateway. Still no scouting? No scouting. Okay, so we're trying to maximize our minerals here for Erob. Barracks going down towards the entryway. Cool, cool. All right. Yeah, Erob's going to start sending his probe out. Get an idea of what's going on. Looks like Ozzy's doing the same. Now, it looks like Ozzy's actually going to be getting the first scout. Oh, maybe not. He might just be checking the middle, though. Let's see. No, it does actually look like he's intentionally going down. Okay, no, he was just checking the middle. Okay. I wonder if Erob's, like, cheesed him before. Like, some sort of center 2 gate or anything like that. Honestly, it's probably just something you should just always do. Because even if you don't find anything, you might find the probe checking for your own center stuff. Alright, we do have a Zealot opener, though. Single Zealot, Cybernetics Core. And he's already scouted bottom right, so Erob knows where Ozzy is. Let's see how Ozzy handles the initial Zealot coming in. Gonna go up to 3 Marines. Already have the factory going. We got the guys off gas, so we're going to be expanding. I like the spot for the SimCity. Okay, Irba's just going to pull back. Oh, yeah, and he's bringing a goon. I was wondering if he was going to do, like, 3 zealots or something crazy like that. Now, Ozzy does drop an engineering bay down here at the natural. Super annoying. And we're going to be going bunker first here before Ozzy decides to expand. Now, we are getting the vulture out. And we're going to do 1 vulture into machine shop. Dang, was all that from the vulture? No, this guy had to have shown up and hit the Marines, right? Okay, vulture squeaks out. You can probably run up here and kill this probe. There's no additional... Okay, so now a dragoon's being made. But it doesn't look like Ozzy actually wants to take the vulture up there just yet. Waiting for mines. Dragoon's going to go back, prevent any vulture run-bys. We already have the zealot here, preventing it from running into the main base. All right. Nice and standard. Beautiful. Beautiful game of StarCraft. Alright, so once mines were researched, now Ozzy wants to be out on the map. Let's drop 1 mine over there, the potential 3rd expansion, 3rd or 4th expansion. I wonder if he'll loop around and come up here. He's probably generally aware he's being chased. Okay, he's going to place the last mine here outside this ramp. Alright, meanwhile, we have gone up to 2 tanks. We're still in 1 factory. But we are getting an armory and an eBay. Gotta get your safety turret. Meanwhile, what's the Rob doing? Going up to... Okay, so 2. Oh, okay, so we are going into Reavers. So we have the shuttle. We're getting the observer. That'll help with mines. And just generally understanding, you know, it's an observer. It's going to do observer things. Then we're going to get the Reaver. Now, it's around 6:30, so Ozzy's probably going to be keeping an eye out for any type of probe moving out to start a 3rd base. Now, he does have a pretty decent spread here on his mines. He's got a couple mines over here, his vulture here, and a mine over here. So when it comes to where the shuttle's going to go, I imagine he's not going to see it because he's probably going to skirt around the outside over here. But his odds aren't terrible from catching something if he tries to beeline across and drop the Reaver on this side. So I guess it's going to really kind of come down to if Erob wants to go natural or wants to go main. Or at all. He might just want this to hold a Terran push. But it does look like he's going to be going for the main. And because of this, he's going to be spotted. Oh, just barely. Just barely spotted. Don't know if Ozzy even saw it. Now, he does have... Okay, he saw it. He saw it. He knows. Here comes the Goliath. Here comes the tank. Here comes the eBay to float over the wall. And we already have turret on the way. Okay, so here it comes. Gonna drop the zealots, and we're getting out of there. Yeah, I think that's... he's seen enough. We don't need the Reaver to do any more. Ozzy was too well prepared. Alright, going up to 4 factories. A second Reaver. Okay, cool. Does look like we're getting another shuttle as well. Wow, third base. Over here on the elevated ground. A little more difficult to defend, but also I like it. Because the thing is even if it is spotted by Terran, and Terran wants to run over there and try to schwack it, it's pretty far. Right? And that would really put his army at a disadvantage. That's why it's such a pain in the butt when Protoss takes like corners on 4-player maps and stuff. Because you can't really go and knock one out with any significant force. Because then you're just left way too wide open against the Protoss army. Alright, Aussie's still very well defended at home. We are going up to, what is this, 7 factories? Now, we don't have a third base yet. But it looks like we might be preparing to move out. Knocked out the bunker. Starting to head forward. Oh, wow. Erob right on time, though. And none of these tanks are sieged. Oh, these initial scarabs doing so much damage. This is nice from Erob, but he needs to make sure he doesn't lose these unnecessarily. A few of the Dragoons getting picked off, but so far, like, if Aussie was intending to push with this force, he is definitely being effectively delayed. SCV's out here, preparing like madmen. Already 5 kills between the two of them. And we are up on our third base. Now, I wouldn't be I was going to say maybe Protoss can take a 4th now. But I don't know. Looks like kind of working towards production. And making sure that he has enough army to defend any type of push that Aussie might throw his way. Because Aussie's not building... Oh, but here we go. Zealots and Reaver in the main. There is not a ton to defend here, but the Vultures are running back very quickly. Nice little shuffle here. Picking up the Reavers before they get knocked out. Erob doing a good job shuffling. Ah, does lose one, unfortunately, for Erob. But a decent amount of damage. Decent amount of lost mining time. And now we're going for the depots. Oh, so gross. Oh, no! Just got a little too close to the turret. Oh, that's a bummer. Not sure if he got enough damage, but the damage that it did out front was pretty good. He definitely whittled away this army. He delayed Aussie from moving out beyond this little section of the map. But now I think he needs to be prepared for the counter push. And what does he have back home? A handful of Dragoons? He's got some over here for potential counterattack. Might just be double checking. There's no third here. This push could be a bit scary. Now we've got Shuttle, but we don't have Reaver. Oh my gosh! Holy crap! That dragged mine just killed half of Aussie's army. Holy shit! That was a hero zealot right there. Okay, without that, Aussie could have maybe just finished the game. That was insane. I don't know if Aussie knows this is here. I don't think he does. Another Zealot bomb. Nice turret. This turret's out in the middle of nowhere. But it's perfect. I still don't think, yeah, Aussie still has no idea this base is up here. That's hilarious. Yeah, let's go ahead and see. Oh, shit, there is a base. Okay, so this base is going to probably get schwacked now. But this is what I was talking about earlier with that location of that base. if Ozzy commits over here with a bunch of things, right, he really opens himself up to counterattack on this left side of the map. Now, this isn't a huge counterattack, and you can't go too hard if there's anything here to defend, because then Ozzy can just push your main. But this might actually do a significant amount of damage. We'll see how these mines do. Mines have been the name of the game so far. Bunch of vultures coming in, trying to help out. Okay, looks like Ozzy's going to repel that, and that's really not very good for Erob. Puts him in a tough spot. Ozzy's going to be able to take his third base now. And he is slowly wiping out this base. Erob has had to expand over here to the top right. And he's got another one down here in the third main. Okay, I want to see what's going on in Erob's base. Because I feel like Erob's in a little bit of trouble right now. He's going to need like a big trade. We're using a lot of shuttle bombs. There's a DT in this one as well. Now, I didn't really see anywhere where a DT would be terribly helpful. A lot of mines have been out on the map. A lot of turrets. Ozzy's got scans. Oh no, is he just going to lose this shuttle? Ah! Survives. He got it all out. And the DT just skirts right by this turret. Okay, Vulture identifies the expansion down here. Weird game. In the sense that, like, this has been where Ozzy's been fighting. Trying to play whack-a-mole on these bases. This base is as good as dead. And Erob needs to get rid of all this crap. Retake this. Okay, it looks like he's working on it. Maybe take this. Erob really big on the shuttle play, though. Oh, no. High Templar going down for free. Okay, Mr. DT getting some work done here just outside. Oh, I guess he's not even outside the turret range. Uh-oh. Here we go. DT in the main. There's a lot of turrets here in the main. Where's he going to storm? I guess he decided not to. Okay, so we're being annoying with the DTs. That's nice. That feels good. Trying to expand up here. Somehow snuck it right on top of these mines. But we'll see if there's a reaction that comes up here. It might be just the next target after Ozzy has annihilated this base in the bottom right. I also want to check upgrades. We're at 1-1 right now. We're not yet researching 2-2. When it comes to production, we're still at 7 factories for Ozzy. We do have our starport, though. I think he's just like 1 microcycle away from slapping down Science Vessel, second armory, and maybe getting some upgrades. Meanwhile, for our Protoss, we're at 10 gateways. And we're getting Storm. Oh! He had the... I think he forgot Storm. He had the High Templar out there in that initial drop. He then picked it up after it kind of like danced around a little bit. I think that dance was him trying to storm. So that's a bummer. Nice mind drag there. Okay, so the Terran army is trapped down here in the bottom right. It looks like Erob might be able to clean this up. Erob now taking the supply advantage. Slowly cruising through these tanks. Gonna pull back a little bit. Drop down maybe a Zealot. Freaking mind drags, dude. Insane. Alright. A little bit of a chill moment right now. Ozzy confirming that this base is back up. Okay, so earlier, you know, we saw the Nexus get dropped down on top of these mines up here at this this triangle third. It looks like Ozzy's taking the time to react to that now. Forcing Erob to go eat some mines through the middle of the map. Ooh, I like this siege tank placement behind the supply depot and the turret. Okay, bigger engagement going on up here. And Storm has finished. Erob using it to full effect. Need to watch out, though. Goliaths are on the field. Already losing one of the shuttles. This base is as good as gone. It is smoked. There's not much army on the map for Erob. Or if there is, I don't know where it's at. Big Storm right there. Another one here, too, but hurting a lot of his own units. Perfectly fine. Totally worth it to get rid of these tanks. Geez, these storms are just pinpoint. Trying to make an Archon. There we go. Excellent. Still a lot of vultures, though. Still a lot of vultures. I don't know where the Protoss army is. Alright, so Ozzy continuing the push. Okay, he's going to start sealing this off with mines, too. So this base is dead. Erob's been really struggling to keep his bases up and running for very long. He's been getting them down very well, but they haven't been surviving. We're mined out of the natural, we're mined out of the main. So right now that leaves this third base, and then this elevated base, but it's not really mining gas. So we're kind of struggling on gas. We've got our 2 gases from the initial onset, but I don't think we're looking that healthy economically. Meanwhile, Aussie mining from 3 bases. Oh, big storm drop here. Was mining from 3 bases. Got stormed to oblivion at this one. And Aussie just now taking his 4th. So much gas for Aussie. But both players really kind of low on army at the moment. Each of them trying to re-max while also denying each other's bases. Protoss going for this one. Oh my gosh. So many mines. Let's see if there's going to be another huge mine drag like the last time Aussie pushed. Okay, we still haven't retaken this. Aussie's slowly trying to seal Protoss out of having this main. If you can split the map as Terran and take both these mains, or at least prevent Protoss from taking the second main, that's a really big deal. Okay, Observer's a little far away. Might get some mine connections here. We sure do. We have a whole bunch of High Templars up in this shuttle. Okay, big Terran force in the middle. This is looking pretty good for Aussie now. I think we're in a pretty good spot as Terran. You continue to deny these bases. You're keeping the army all over the place. But I like what Erob's doing here, too. Because this is only one of 2 mining bases for Aussie. Like, the main and the natural are mined out, just like they are for the Protoss. And it looks like he's trading pretty well. Now, all this will die. But he's taking a lot of Terran with him. Not very many tanks, though. Oh, but here come the Zealots. Hitting from behind. Gonna knock out a few of these tanks. Okay. When it's all said and done, Erob is actually below on supply at this point. And that's with a superior probe count. Now, he just macro cycled up real hard, so a lot of that supply is all being built. Yeah, Erob's still going for this base. That's the one he wants. Escorts his probe transfer over there, but oh man. I have a feeling all those probes are going to end up dying. Okay, Oz is getting to the point where his army has a good enough mix of, you know, SCV, Goliath, Vulture, Tank to be really resilient to a lot of the stuff that Erob's been throwing at him. Namely, all of those shuttle drops, all those Zealot bombs that have been serving him so well. This is going to be rough. Because this base is now threatened. This one being, I think, the bigger of the bases mining. And this base is threatened, which hasn't gotten up and running yet, but Erob really needs it if he wants to make something happen this game. Oh my gosh, there's going to be so many probes. There's got to be like 30-something probes there. Alright, we'll keep an eye on that. I want to see what Erob's going to be doing up here on the left-hand side of the map. How is he going to approach this? Oh, he might be able to actually trap this army here. This is kind of an interesting aspect. I don't know if it'll be before this Nexus falls, though. Okay, here come a ton of Zealots. Now, all of the tanks, no one is targeting the Nexus anymore. Huge storm going down. Wow. Erob cut through that like freaking knife through butter. A hot knife through butter. Now we're going to be transferring probes. Okay, so Erob slowly clawing his way back into having kind of an equal economic game. Is taking his triangle third as well. This is going to put him up to 4 mining bases if he can establish these. Oh no. That was like all the storms. Nice picks there from these vultures. They're like the ground mutalisk, you know? These freaking harass units. Gotta get them out there sniping these High Templars. Now, more tanks going down to these Zealots. How are we doing on upgrades? We did stay at 1-1 for Ozzy. That's kind of an interesting point. 2-1 for Protoss. And huge Storm Drop. Wow, tons of back and forth on this game. Did not expect it to be this long. Okay. Ozzy's starting to really get kind of a defensive front here, which he needs to. He can't lose this base. Now, I do want to point out that... Ooh, oh, disgusting. Storm is so good. But, you know, even with all these storms and everything, like, Ozzy has been maintaining a superior supply count, which is so good, Terran versus Protoss. Ozzy's also taken this base down here, and that's big, and I don't think that Protoss is aware of it. Might be scouting out there with a probe here in a second. Yeah, he is. He's going to identify this. Now, this is going to be ripe for the picking for all these storm drops that Erob's been doing. If he has a High Templar to spare, he might send one up here and knock it out. But he's actually just going to be bringing the army. He's going to start applying a pressure. Yo, this game's been bonkers, dude. Okay. This looks tough. This looks tough for Protoss. I don't think Protoss is going to be able to get on over here as easily as he was hoping. Need to be careful about getting sucked into these tanks as well. That would be such a juicy storm. Oh, but that High Templar gets sniped. Now, the storm shows up, but it's kind of after the fact. We had already lost so many units to the front there. All right, more Zealots trying to come in from behind. Right now, Ozzy's still up 20 supply. And he's slowly starting to encroach on these expansions that Protoss has going over here on the right-hand side of the map. Man, these two are just beating the crap out of each other. Okay, so we have started, yeah, like a diseased livestock. We are just about to get 2-2 now. So Ozzy waited for a very long time to do that. I'm curious if that's kind of the standard. I don't know. I think it was Artosis saying that on one of his casts. Maybe it was like an ASL cast or something. I guess that's somewhat meta now. Delaying the upgrades for a super long time and getting production up and running. Oh, thanks, Father. Glad you like the website. Yeah, Champion made that. And it is amazing. It's really kind of bringing the league to life, I think. And we're going to also be transitioning to the brackets being on there at some point. So that it's all nice and automated and pretty, and we can stop using challenge and all the work that goes into that. Which reminds me, I gotta do coin flips for brackets after this. Okay, so we've mined out here at the triangle third. Like, we're slowly starting to spread farther and farther in both directions here for Terran. Now, this base has taken a beating repeatedly, and it looks like it's coming up on time for it to get hit again. Check this out. Look at all these zealots. But I kind of want to see Aussie start expanding down in this area and continuing to, like, really split the map towards this main and secure it. Okay, we do have a Stargate up and running. We haven't seen any Arbiters, any intention on going towards carriers. We've been really relying on a lot of shuttles and a lot of zealots. That was a decent storm. Still losing a lot of tanks here for Aussie. Aussie now dipping below supply for the first time in a very long time. Okay. And like I said, it was time for this side to take a beating. You can see the kind of the game pattern here is like they'll go fight over this area for a little bit, then they'll exhaust their armies, and then Irab will come up here and try to hit this. Keeping that Terran army moving across the map back and forth is just such a pain in the ass. Wow, he's gonna kill the CC. This is a big deal for Irab. But Irab's also lost a ton. Like, the supplies are all of a sudden pretty dang close. Oh man, these zealots are still doing so much work on these tanks. Look at their production. Like, just nothing's being made. Aussie's got no money. Europe's got no gas. Both of them are sub 50 workers. Okay, well, after that occurred, I think that Aussie is going to probably continue down this direction. Like, he got it early, he was able to maintain it for a long time, but I think the continuation here is start taking these fresh bases and try to lock this down. Where are these guys going? Oh, he mined out. Okay, both players licking their wounds right now. Both players also mining out of everything. So Aussie's going to be on one mining base. Not a feel good. Also, I don't know how long this Wraith has been there. I didn't even notice it was built. Like, zero production from Aussie right now. Like, that's how broke he is. Holy freaking scans, dude. Alright, so he just scanned all over. This is a big deal for him to notice. Oh, and he's catching the probe heading up there. I'm not sure if Aussie feels comfortable enough to start sending, like, large vulture raiding parties out on the map, considering he doesn't have the money to really keep producing at a decent rate. Irab is starting to take the supply advantage, which makes sense. He's kind of an economy lead. Wow, it's like we just reset the game. Like, they're both just completely broke. Trying to just re-expand, get worker counts, and get after it. Okay, vulture raid time. So he's gonna play some mines, but I'm wondering if he's gonna start heading up towards this. Like, focus more on base denial than on base elimination at the moment. And honestly, if he can wipe this army Like, whoever wins this right now will probably take it, because if Ozzy can take out this army, there's no remax potential for, like, either player. This is looking pretty good for our Terran player. Yeah, Ozzy's cruising through this right now. The Zell bomb's not so effective when they're not sieged up. Ooh, that's a lot of Zealots, though. But that 2-2 is kicked in as well. So a little bit different than what we were seeing earlier. Okay, this is a big deal. This is a big deal, because he's going to be able to kill this base before it can get up and running. And he might be just continuing to apply some pressure and might have an opportunity to knock this out too, once the tanks are done up here. I'm kind of shocked this base is still mining. It's been mining like this whole game. And this is like all Europe has as army. Alright, Ozzy finally taking the 6 o'clock. Looks like he might try to retake this base. Yeah, this has been a slog, though. An absolute slugfest. It's like ever since like minute 6, these two have just been at each other's throats the entire time. With the exception of that one lull, like a minute ago, where they were just both completely dead. And like Ozzy wasn't even sure. He's like, "Is it just me, or are you also banged up?" And he like scanned like 1,900 times across the map. Scrappy, scrappy. Alright, looks like Ozzy's going to get the jump on this. Might knock it out. Now, by the way, Erob's getting very close to running out of minerals. So Ozzy's still mining. Erob about done mining, right? So if Ozzy can deny this base, then Erob's basically dead, because he's... like, look at this bank. There is no bank. Oh my gosh, huge probe transfer. Not a big escort. Oh. Erob needs to defend this at all costs. Like, this is the game right here. Like, keep this damn base alive. Ooh, we got a bunch of DTs in here, too. Kind of good timing. There was a bunch of scans, but I imagine there's a bunch more. Oh my gosh. Okay, there's one scan. Oh, but they were all busy on sieging. Okay, it was still enough time. Cleaned up the DTs. There's no army here. This base is completely left hanging. Few Zealots and Dragoons on the way. But if we can get, like, a tank up here... Ah, Erob sees it. GG. Hot damn. $36-minute game, y'all. That was like as long as some of these other entire series. That was a good game. That was an absolute banger. Let's go into game number 2 from these guys. And it looks like they chose Polestar. Seems like every series so far. With the exception of Nesh and Remap, who did Neosylphid twice for some reason. Polestar's been the choice. Alright, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty, we got Erob up here in the top right, and we've got Ozzy down here in the bottom right. And my voice is like hurts now. So I'm gonna chill for a minute. Yo, Father, I was gonna cast your game next. Should I do it? Is it worth casting? Is it long? Because Nomad's... I think Nomad's Terran, right? I forget. He might be Protoss. Alright, slap down a gateway or no? Alright, so it looks like we're going forward gate. Now, last game, Europe chilled at home for a hot minute. Like, he didn't scout until after he had already had his refinery down. This time, 4-player map, a little bit of a different opening. Going with a little bit more of an aggressive build, I think. Now, Erob on Neosylphid did show up with a Zealot and a Probe. He did try to apply a little bit of pressure, but it showed up just a little too late. There was already a couple of Marines out, and he just kind of boogied. He was like, not getting anything done. Went back home. Curious to see if he makes anything happen with the Zealot in this game, because he's going to have confirmation. He's going to know where Ozzy's at, probably by the time this thing pops. Especially when the SCV shows up. And he might just send it right in. This is wonky. I like it. Okay, SCV's going to get up here. It's going to be annoying. It's going to see everything. Initial Zealot on the way. SimCity towards the ramp. Ozzy will be fine. This is fine. Factory, and it does look like we're prepping for factory expand. So nothing crazy here from our Terran player. Erob, not going to be able to get much done unless maybe with a little bit of luck. Okay, no, Ozzy's right on top of it. Uses the SimCity, pulls these Marines back, gets an SCV here, a little bit of body block. He might be able to delay this factory, though. Yeah, the Marines kind of stopped chasing, so... Luckily, another SCV picks up right where he dropped off. Nice micro there. Mixing these Marines up, keeping them all alive. Going up to a fourth. He actually spammed a couple of them. Might be concerned about additional Zealots, which he should be, because here's another one. Alright, 2 Zealots in the base. We have 4 Marines out. All of them very wounded. Needs to get this factory done. You know, I think Erob actually probably could have killed that SCV. Delayed the factory for a bit. Because factory showing up, getting that Vulture, that shuts this down. Like, we're done. We do have a Dragoon on the way, though. But Ozzy didn't really slow down on Marine production. Ooh. A couple more hurt Marines in there. If he targets the right ones, he might be able to shred them. Trying to get this bunker down. Okay, no. It's not going to quite do it. I like Ozzy moving the Vulture up there to the top left. So even if the Dragoon tried to run away, he'd be getting shots on him the whole time. Slick move. Okay, looks like we stabilized. Ozzy going to be expanding here relatively soon. And during all of that, threw down an eBay at the natural. Which he did, I think, in game 1 as well. Very annoying. All right. Overall, pretty good start for Ozzy. Really, all that he lost was, you know, he was annoyed, I'm sure, but just a few Marines and like an SCV. But he held off all the pressure. He was able to get this eBay down, delay the Nexus. Like, it's still not down, right? Now, he did go straight into Robo. Getting shuttle. Erob likes his shuttles. This we know. But there's no tech behind this. There's no observatory. There it is. Okay. Getting our safety turrets. Excellent. Yeah, I don't... We have 3 Marines, a tank, getting a second tank. We might be able to push up to the second tank. And I say that because the Nexus was delayed. I don't know. Let's see what he does. Okay, looks like we're just going to establish the natural. We're getting speed. Safety turret, love it, Love it. We do have a vulture on the map. Yeah, I mean, like, Europe's pretty vulnerable right now. He's got 2 goons. Like, a push right now, 2 tanks, 3 marines, and a vulture. I think that would have a pretty good time against 2 goons. Alright, one of these dragoons going on a mine clearing mission. Getting our second factory. Alright, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Moment of truth. Reaver time. Now we had our safety turrets. We're getting an armory now. We don't have Goliaths. Okay, here comes the tanks. Ooh, come on. Oh, it dudded out. Oh my gosh. That could have been so big. Can this turret make it all the way to the edge? Not quite. Oh my gosh, this Reaver not getting anything done. We need to just try to escape. Was this there earlier? Oh, lost. And then there's the GG. Erob has had enough. He's like, enough's enough. That Reaver did nothing. Oh my goodness. You know, and there really wasn't anything left either. So, makes sense. He was really counting on that Reaver getting some damage done. Without it, these 4 tanks go across. Maybe 5 tanks. And it's just a bad day. Alright, well that was that. Ozzy's going to be able to take that series. 2-0. In favor of Savage. Now, I wanted to watch another one. I was going to watch Father Nomad, but honestly, it's really late, and I'm tired, and very few people are watching. So what I'm going to do is I'll raid somebody, if anyone's around. I think Ozzy actually might be around, so I can raid him. No, he's not here. Where is he? No, we'll raid Valentine. I like this guy. And then, yeah, I'll upload this on YouTube. And we'll try to chug through all of the millions and millions and millions of matches that are occurring in this new season format. And if you haven't heard of SCUL, you should join. It's a good time. Bye.